Find a comfortable position, whether it's laying on your back or sitting straight up with your feet firmly rooted to the ground. Close your eyes and begin to notice your breath. See if you can slow it down momentarily, breathing in through your nose for a count of 6, and then out through your mouth to a count of 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try that again, this time paying even closer attention to your breath and only to your breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let your breath return to a normal pace and start to notice your body and comfort level in your current position. Let's see if you can gently hypnotize your body into relaxing completely. Can you feel your feet and will them to relax? Breathe relaxation into your feet, your ankles, up into your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips. Breathe that relaxing energy into your fingers and hands, your wrists, your lower arms, your upper arms. Shift your attention to bringing relaxation to your belly, breathing deeply in and out, letting your belly expand as you breathe, pulling in rest and exhaling any tension or discomfort. Breathe that relaxation up into your chest and all along your spine, willing it to rest completely. Feel it in your shoulders now and up your neck, relaxing it completely. Bring that restful breath up to your face. Your jaw and lips are completely relaxed. The muscles around your eyes are completely relaxed. Your forehead is completely relaxed. Your skull is completely relaxed. You have now lulled yourself into a fully comfortable state, ready to float along on a fantastical Halloween journey, knowing that you are still completely comfortable, completely relaxed, and completely safe. You glance around in your mind's eye and see that you are in a thickly wooded forest at night. You see the soft glow of fireflies flitting around you, and when you breathe in, you inhale the scent of pine and fir trees. Rather than worrying about why you are here or where to go, trust in your body to keep you safe and simply take one step forward at a time. The air is cool and crisp, but you find that you were dressed perfectly for this environment and are completely comfortable, neither cold nor hot. As you walk through the ancient forest, you see strange markings on some of the trees. They appear to be symbols carved into the trees every few feet. At first, you cannot see well enough in the dark to tell what they are. But then you realize that you are holding a faint lantern in your right hand. As you raise it, you see that the symbols are elaborate arrows, all pointing in the same direction. Just as this is revealed, you hear the howling of wolves in the distance and wonder if they are also there to guide your path. You look up through the trees at the night sky and see bats flying overhead, crossing over your view of the pale full moon. You take this as confirmation that all signs are directing you forward on a path to somewhere. You keep following the symbols carved into the trees and enjoying the musical sounds of night creatures, the occasional howl of wolves, the hooting of owls in the trees, and the squeak of bats flying overhead as you crunch through the leaves and grass. You notice that the thick brush is becoming more of a cleared path, and that the path is no longer flat. You begin ascending what becomes a winding, steep path up the side of a mountain. Luckily, in your spectral state, you did not need to train for this hike, and you are clearing the path with ease. The caress of wind on your face picks up in intensity, waving your hair about, and even you begin to feel the tickle of raindrops against your skin. You continue to relax even with this change of weather, because your layered hiking clothes appear to be hydrophobic, the rain rolling off without ever soaking through. Despite your good fortune, you pick up the pace to get to the mystery destination and out of the rain. Further down the path, there's a majestic streak of lightning, painting the night sky in a purple glow, which illuminates the final destination up ahead. It's a massive, regal castle that has clearly begun to crumble, with sections entirely caved in on itself. Taking in this surprising sight, you hear a clap of thunder, a reminder to move ahead and take shelter in the castle overhead. The crunch of pebbles and leaves transitions to stone steps leading to a wrought iron gate. When you reach the gate, you find that it is unlocked and in fact creaks open of its own accord when approached. Stepping through the archway, you see that the endless lawn contains a wild, overgrown garden, a dried-up old fountain, and even a hedge maze that tempts your curiosity. Just as you think you might chance a step in its direction, another flash of lightning fills your vision, accompanied by an immediate clap of thunder close by. You shield your eyes and turn back toward the castle ruins to see that there is a pale figure at the grand entrance, holding the massive door open for you. The figure ushers you in out of the storm, and you don't get to take a second glance at him until you are safely inside and the door has been shut and bolted behind you. Before you turn to face your host, you take in the scale and grandeur of the room you've entered. You can almost imagine fantastic balls were held in this room centuries ago, with whole villages of people turning up to glide across the floor and dance. In that moment, you can hear organs and violins playing faintly in the distance. But maybe that's just your imagination running wild. You let your eyes roam over the imperial staircase leading up to a landing where you can only just make out some portraits hanging on the walls. To every side of you, you see moth-eaten tapestries and lit candles melting over wall sconces. Remembering your circumstances, you turn to thank your host. Even in the candlelight, you see that he is ghastly pale, and his face is contoured with deeper shadows than anyone you've ever seen before. Under normal circumstances, you would find this ghoulishly gaunt figure frightening, but instead you find yourself thankful and curious. When you gaze into his eyes, you find amusement there, and it quickly spreads to the rest of his face as he begins to laugh, revealing an impressive set of fangs. He bows in greeting to you and silently gestures for you to follow. There's no going back now, but you feel eerily calm and comfortable as you both begin to float up the stairs. The steep staircase is positively overrun with old cobwebs, but you feel a deep knowing in your gut that if there are any residents lingering in those webs, they will keep to themselves and mean you no harm. You find more sticky webs decorating the antique portraits hung in gilded frames along the walls as you continue to climb toward the landing. As you walk past, it feels as though the eyes in every portrait move to follow you, watching you with the same playful curiosity you've felt since arrival. Your host points a bony, taloned finger toward an open door at the end of a dark hallway, prompting you to walk ahead. As you walk through the velvety darkness, you hear more of the thunderstorm raging outside, and occasionally feel a mist of rain on your face, where the bones of the castle have begun to rot away, exposing you to the elements. This combination of sensations in the darkness are enough to make your hair stand on end, but a strong sense of wonder drives you forward toward the doorway ahead. As you reach it, you can see the warm glow of a lit fireplace just within. You step into the empty room, and the warmth you find relaxes you even further. It appears to be a small library or study with lavish furniture close to the fireplace and an unusual table fashioned from a gnarled old tree. You begin to circulate the room, running your fingers along the dusty shelves and squinting at the warm, leather-bound texts filling each cabinet. Even though most of these books appear to be archaic, you see a few familiar favorites as well. You gently pull one loose of its resting place, picture it in your mind, and feel the texture of the valuable binding in your hands. You happily take it back by the fire to nestle into a velvet-lined reading chair. Once you settle in, you feel a whole new level of comfort wash over your body and mind, and you can feel the dancing flames in the fireplace begin to hypnotize you further. Just as your eyes are starting to grow heavy, your host reappears before you, offering you an ornate goblet of some sort of liquid. You accept it, studying him carefully. He takes the seat opposite to you and gives you a distinguished smile. You gaze down into the deep pool of your goblet and watch the glimmering swirl of the dark red liquid. You notice that he doesn't hold a glass of his own as you bring the cup to your lips and drink deep, enjoying the spiced, fruity concoction within. This helps you relax even further into your chair, and your mind starts to drift as the flames dance shadows along the walls and the glinting eyes of your host meet yours. With an ancient voice that feels like it's always lived in the deep, dark recesses of your mind, he begins to tell you the tale of his immortal life, regaling you with centuries of history and forgotten secrets. He is Dracula, lord of all vampires, but he is pleased to have someone to talk to after so long, and was happy that your path brought you to his lair. He asks you what you would do with your life if you had all of eternity stretching before you. You take another sip from your goblet and consider what it would be like to be a vampire yourself. Would you travel to every corner of the globe and experience each culture? Become the preeminent scholar on every subject possible, or even master numerous art forms? Amass a kingdom of wealth and luxuries? Find a way to dominate nations? Or would you live humbly and use your resources to help others? What moves can you make in your life now to make this possible? You could do anything, really, and Dracula has done it all. As he resumes his tale, you feel yourself hypnotized by the alien yet familiar tone of his voice, bidding you welcome to stay as long as you please. As your breath deepens and your eyes grow heavy, you note that the thunder you've been hearing in the background bleeds into the howling of the wolves you followed in the forest to get here. Dracula ceases his tale and turns toward the study window to see that the sun is beginning to rise. He snarls and whips his cape to cover his face, and you are amused to watch him immediately transformed into a small brown bat, who then flaps from the room and into the safety of the dark hallway. The wolves outside howl again, and you realize that your visit is at an end. You notice then a second subtle door in the room that you hadn't noticed before. You rise and stretch your body as you make your way toward this seemingly modern door. Strangely, when you open it, you find yourself back in the present moment, safely within your body where you have been meditating. You return to noticing your breath for a few moments, and then listening to what sounds you can hear in your environment now that you have left Dracula's castle. Notice what you can feel around you, the texture of the furniture or ground beneath you. Begin to wiggle your toes and fingers as if you were shaking off the cobwebs from his staircase. Whenever you are ready, you can open your eyes and remember that you are welcome back to Dracula's abode whenever you wish to return.